A few weeks ago, I got a super exciting email. Jessica, do you want to join us at Sony Camera Camp? And listen, I was so excited. I literally use Sony everything. Like, I am a Sony girl through and through, right? Like, I'm filming on a Sony, I've got a Sony, I've got the Sony mic, I've got the other Sony camera, I've got the, like, all the things that I was so excited. And then I looked at the date and realized that it overlapped with one of my kids having surgery. Now listen, I am not the mom who's like, I can't ever miss anything. Like, sometimes I'll miss ball games, sometimes I'll miss things because, like, I'm a working mom just as much as I'm a mom, right? But missing surgery is not something I was willing to do. And even though it was like a super minor surgery, I could not be here for my son's surgery. And I thought about like flying out and doing like the first couple of days of camera camp and flying home, but I was worried that I would like miss flights and all the things. And so I didn't go. And there has never been FOMO more present than when I started seeing all the people that I would have loved to have met at Sony Camera Camp talking about being at Sony Camera Camp. Hello from Camera Camp!
Get ready with me for my first day at Sony Camera Camp.
Sony Camera Camp, day one, let's go.
Sony just announced their ZV-E1.
Hey guys, I'm here in San Diego where we are having the 2023 Camera Camp with Sony. Let me show you what goes down at Camera Camp.
And while I was having major FOMO around actually being there and meeting the creators and hanging out with Sony and all the things, I was also having major FOMO over the fact that I was not sent a Sony ZV-E1 to, do a video about. Nor did I get my hands on it because I wasn't at freaking Sony Camera Camp. Now, Sony has partnered with me before and sent me like test models of some of their cameras, but this was not one I was on the list for. So I don't physically have the Sony ZV-E1 in my hands. But I have watched so many videos about it and I want to talk about it because I think that it is going to be a game changer for a lot of people watching, and it's going to be a game changer for me. So if you're like, Jessica, what are you talking about? Let me just take a step back for a minute. Sony released a new camera in its ZV line, which is the same line that my favorite vlogging camera with a fixed lens is in. So this is the ZV-1. They also released not long ago the ZV-1F that is just like a tuned up, better version of this camera. And they're spectacular. It's what I recommend to everybody for vlogging. And Sony's camera line is a little bit confusing, but essentially the ZV line has historically not been full frame. A lot of the cameras in the ZV line have a fixed lens. You can't change out the lenses, but that line is made for creators. And then they have the like A7 line, and that line is a bit more professional and has some different use cases. So I film on a Sony, and you're gonna hear the dog tearing a piece of paper in the background, but whatever. So I film on a Sony a7S III. That's the camera I'm filming on right now, and it is the love of my life. Y'all have heard me talk about this before. It is a full frame, video first camera, and the quality is unmatched. The color quality, the quality, it's a 4K camera, all the things unmatched. And after going to like a full frame mirrorless camera, I could never go back to filming all of my videos on something like this. However, this bad boy is heavy, and I mean heavy. For, I lift weights. Like I don't feel like I have like small muscles. I lift weights, but like holding this camera out like this to vlog is not gonna happen. But it's so hard because I want the same quality from the a7S III to vlog with. And this is great quality. But I really like being able to switch out my lenses. I really like being able to, change things to have the same quality I have here sitting at my desk in a vlog. Like 6 months ago, I also decided that not only did I need a lighter camera to vlog on that I could use, the lenses on and was full frame, but I also wanted a better photo camera, like a photo first camera that kind of had some video capabilities. So I ended up getting the Sony a7 IV. It is much lighter in my hands, but it's still a big boy. Like it's still big and it's still pretty heavy. Like this is like the vlogging setup I would have on it. This is a 20 mil lens, a 1.8. And I have been loving this for like a backup camera, for a vlogging camera, for a photo camera, which is a lot of why I bought it. And so yeah, but it is still heavy. It also overheats. I had seen several reviews of this saying that they like couldn't get it to overheat. Well, it's overheated for me several times. So it's definitely not a camera that I can use just like all the time for video. So for someone like me, the Sony ZV-E1 is hands down the perfect vlogging camera. First of all, it's basically an A7S III. Like I said, what I'm filming on now, it's basically that in a different body. Has the same sensor, has all the same features, like literally the same camera in a different body. It is like $1,300 cheaper than the A7S III. And when it comes to weight, the Sony A7S III is right at 700 grams or 1.5 pounds without a lens on it and with a battery in it, which again, I've said is heavy. And the Sony ZV-E1 is 483 grams, barely a pound. And that 1/2 pound of difference is gonna make a huge difference when it comes to like holding it out like this and vlogging. I tell people all the time that like, I absolutely love my A7S III, but please don't go spend the money on this because it's a very specific person that it's for, and it's, you know, for someone who's doing this for a living and all the things. But I can honestly say that at $1,300 cheaper, at lighter, at having basically the same features, being full frame, being able to use the lenses, that the ZV-E1 would probably be a great camera for most people to buy if you're willing to spend that kind of money. I am super excited about this camera. Like I say, I haven't gotten to get my hands on it, and there are a million videos out there like showing you the full specs and video samples and all the things. I just kind of wanted to tell you why I'm excited about it and why I think that it's like something that I think a lot of you will be excited about. And I'm really excited to get my hands on it. I literally pre-ordered it. It is coming as soon as they will ship it to me. And I can officially say I think I have a problem. I have a camera problem. I have the Sony A7S III. Video first, my main filming camera here on my desk, right? I have the Sony A7 IV, photo first, video backup, and that makes sense in my head, right? Like, okay, a photo camera, a video camera, both of them very expensive, but it works. Then now I'm gonna have the ZV-E1, which will be the vlogging camera, which means I probably need to get rid of some of my other vlogging cameras or like give them to my kids or something, because I don't need this many cameras, and I do not recommend that anybody has $1 million worth of cameras, you know, scattered around their office. And I think that's all. I'm gonna have to go because somebody I know is legitimately tearing up everything in my office. I usually try and film when I know he's like sleepy and he'll go lay down, and I thought that's what we were doing, but he has found a basket full of like random things, and he has currently chewed up a checkbook, an old phone bill, currently working on a pack of pens, and some random papers that I hope are not important. So yeah, stick around. I'm super pumped to show you all this camera. Like, it's still a lot of money. It's still a $2,000 camera, plus you have to buy the lenses. I feel like at a certain point on YouTube and as a creator, we want to up level, and this might be a really, really good camera for most people to up level to be able to vlog and film like, you know, sit down talking head videos with like the best quality on the market. Super pumped about this, Sony. Sad you didn't send me a demo unit. Even sadder that I did get invited to Sony Camera Camp and did not get to go. Next year, dear Sony, do not forget about me. Bye, y'all.